Command 1221, Command 1221. Doesn't want me to put the audio. Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So we are live already. You can take the microphone now, Deborah.
Okay, great. Welcome to a new session of Clearing Our Implants. We thank you for joining us today. And while everyone gathers with us, we would like to ask you to please visualize this session and all participants
The Moya Shelley Yates drowned,
surrounded in white light for protection and healing. We would like to make sure everyone receives the optimum healing today and that this session is fully protected. So we're going to take a moment and just visualize white light surrounding all of us here today. Thank you for joining us in that protection, and thank you for joining us today. You are in the Clearing Our Implants, the English and International session in which we will work on cracking the matrix. And by joining us today, not only are you healing yourself and doing some very powerful work, but you're also helping to heal the world and move us toward planetary liberation. My name is Deborah. I will be your host and facilitator today. I am a leader with the Sisterhood of the Rose Planetary Network, and some of you may know me from my interviews with Cobra. And I have a wonderful team with me today that I would like to take a moment to ask them to say hello to you. So, hello, Felipe.
Hello, Deborah. How are you? So
Good.
This is Felipe. This is Felipe coming to you from some part in the north side of the planet in Germany. And extremely happy to be with you all. We have a great session tonight, and we are going to be commenting also key points of the latest Cobra post. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, we look forward to that. And Felipe also does these implant sessions in Spanish. So that's great work. Hello, Cindy, coming to us from France.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm Cindy from France. I manage the French Prepare for Change website and the French meditation website, French We Love Mass Meditation, some Facebook groups. And I participate in the French and English Clearing Implants session. So enjoy the session and thanks for participating with us.
Thank you, Cindy, so much for the wonderful work that you do. And we do invite our audience to say hello in the comment section and tell us where you're from. And so now we're going to chat with Claire from England. Hi, Claire.
Hey Deborah, happy to be here again. Helping to facilitate the session. I run a Prepare for Change Facebook page in the north of England. I also work with a local group here where we're kind of working on energies in preparation for ascension, all that kind of great energy work. And it's great to be here.
Great to have you here, Claire. Thank you so much. And hello, Babette. Would you say hello to us?
Hi, everybody. I'm Babette. I'm in Italy. I am very happy to be part of this group. And I have a Telegram channel for Italian speakers, Vittoria della Luce. Thank you.
Thank you, Babette, for being here today. We will have a few other team members joining us throughout the program, too. And thank you for saying hello to us in the chat. We've got people from Germany and Hungary and all around the planet. Meritus and London. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you for being here today. Let us go over the schedule real quickly as to what we're doing today. We will have a brief discussion to explain what the implants are for anyone new that is joining us. And then we will do several exercises to prepare us for the implant removal exercises. The first one is a very important one in which we will do a protection protocol, because it is very important that we do protect ourselves when we do this type of work. And we will be just simply listening to a 7-minute video in which we will visualize ourselves protected. And then we will invoke command 1221. Very powerful invocation, and we'll explain what that is if you aren't familiar with that. And then we will also do an invocation of our I Am Presence. And this is going to be very important to set us up for the core exercise, especially for the contract cancellation, which is exercise number 4. And we will be canceling some of the contracts that we have made with nefarious forces. And then we will move on to our 2 triangulation exercises. One is called I Am God, and the other is Sex is Love. Now, these are the actual exercises that do help to dissolve the implants. And for these last 3 exercises, you will need paper and a writing utensil. So please make sure that you have that handy. We will do a discussion with comments, questions, and giving you a chance to share your experiences. And we'll also, at the end, we're not going to do a bonus meditation as we sometimes do if there's an urgent meditation. But what we are going to be doing is we are going to have a brief discussion commenting about Cobra's latest update, which had some interesting information. So if you feel like staying on afterwards for that, we'd love to have you join us for that. So let's first explain what are the implants. This may be a review for those of you that have attended before, and for anyone new, they're kind of confusing. We don't know about these implants. It's not anything that you'll see on the mainstream media or anything. But let us explain what they are. The dark forces created Quarantine Earth 25,000 years ago and took humanity hostage. They created a virtual reality control system so nobody could escape. This virtual reality control system is still in place and is usually referred to as the Matrix. Implants are one of the means of control that the dark forces use to maintain the Matrix. They are programmable crystals that continue to be put into the mental, astral, and etheric bodies of every single human being on Earth. They create a space-time black hole anomaly, thus confusing human mind and emotions. Every person incarnated on this planet has 3 primary implants that I will describe next. And each implant holds belief systems that limit our spiritual evolution. So you can see why it's important we need to dissolve these. The light forces have begun with gradual clearing of humanity's implants, and you can help in this process by using these implant removal techniques that we will do here today. When us light workers and light warriors work and act together, it really does help to facilitate the actions of the light forces to liberate the planet. So again, as I said earlier, not only are you healing yourself, you really are helping to move us toward planetary liberation. So you can help visualize where these implants are. Here's a diagram of these 3 implants. The first 2 are located in the frontal lobe area above the eyebrows. These are called the vertical implants. And these were placed in this area. And remember, this is in the our non-physical energy fields. And so these were placed here to keep us separate from source, to sever that connection to source as well as from our higher self. And so if you feel like sometimes your intuition is blocked or you cannot connect, you're not connecting to your higher self, you're not able to connect to source, this is because of these implants. They do affect our decision making. They put us in a place where our survival fears are activated. They do block our intuition, and they create that feeling of separation, that feeling of loneliness. Many people talk about going through their life with this feeling of feeling alone. And this is because of these implants that are keeping us separated from source. So to help dissolve those 2 implants, we will do the I Am God exercise. And then we will also do another exercise for the horizontal implant. And this one is located about 4 centimeters or about 1.5 inches above our navel near the solar plexus. And this implant was placed here by the dark forces to separate our heart from our sexuality, to create a separation between the energy of the heart and the energy of our sexual centers. And also to create a separation between men and women so that men and women look at love and sex in different ways. Women are more inclined to gravitate toward love without sex. Men, the opposite, sex without love. And this creates conflicts. It creates division, separation, conflicts between men and women. It blocks our emotions, blocks our creativity, and it suppresses that very important life force kundalini flow throughout our body. So to help dissolve this implant, we will be doing the Sex is Love exercise, and we will explain more what those are later in the program. And so before every incarnation, we are actually re-implanted again. So each time we incarnate, we are re-implanted with these implants, and that is to assure that we are kept in a place of amnesia and to keep our vibrations lower. So you can see why it's so important that we work to dissolve these implants. And as we mentioned earlier, the light forces are also working to dissolve them, but we can facilitate it by doing exercises like we're doing today. By doing this, you are doing the greatest act of self-love. Self-love, or I should say lack of self-love, is really a problem with around the planet, and especially with light workers, because we have been placed in situations or conditions or people around us which have very much challenged us and made us feel like we are not worthy, we are not good enough, something is wrong with us, we are different. And so by removing these implants, working to remove these, we can feel that connection to source, and we can get the love flowing through our body. And this really will help build our own self-love. And so now that you understand what these implants are, it will help your session to be much more powerful. And we want to re-emphasize how important it is that you protect yourself when doing this kind of work. So whether you're doing these sessions live with us or whether you're doing these on your own, because we do record these sessions and you can go back and do these on your own, it is so important that you first protect yourself to avoid interference from dark entities. These implants have been very strategically placed here for many, many years. And as I mentioned earlier, these implants do help to keep the matrix intact. And so they obviously don't want them removed. So doing protection for yourself is so very important. It's also important that you invoke your I am presence. And this will help to legitimize the contract cancellation that you have made with the dark forces. And we'll explain that more in a moment too. And as I mentioned, we do not recommend doing these implant dissolving exercises if the protection meditation and the contract cancellation is not done first. And we should, we emphasize, do these as often as you would like. The more often you attend these sessions or do these on your own, the quicker the implants will dissolve. But please do respect the protocol. So as we present it here. And for our international audience, we have translations of many of these exercises that we're doing today in different languages that you see here. So all you need to do to find a translation in one of the languages posted here is to go to the website victorialuminis.fr/clearing-implants. And you will see all of the exercises translated into those languages. And if you speak a language that you don't see here and you would like to translate for us, please, we welcome that. So please contact us and let us know if that would be if you would be interested in that. And I would like to point out that there are sessions in several other languages. We have German, French, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese languages that are doing their own sessions. So please check out the welovemassmeditation.com website for dates and times for those sessions. And so let us move on now to our first exercise. This is a 7-minute video and it's so easy and so beautiful. All you have to do is close your eyes and meditate with the video. We will be creating a protection sphere around us. And if you would like to follow this meditation in other languages besides English, you can go to the We Love Mass Meditation YouTube channel with the link posted here, and you can follow in your own language. Otherwise, you can listen to it right now with us in English. So let us go on to our protection protocol.
Relax your body, emotions, and mind by focusing on your breath or in any other way that works for you. Visualize a brilliant white vortex of light emanating from your soul star chakra, moving in a clockwise direction downwards throughout your body, purifying the energy fields of your physical, plasma, etheric, emotional, and mental bodies. Maintain this vortex by connecting it to the source of universal light and program it to maintain all your energy bodies purified. Visualize an egg-shaped, semi-permeable mirror shield around your auric field of your physical, plasma, etheric, astral, and mental bodies. This mirror shield allows all positive energies into your energy field, but reflects and bounces all negative energies back to their source. Program this mirror shield to alert you when any type of negative energy is directed your way, and let it reflect it back to its origin. Visualize light rearranging all parts of yourself and all parts of your energy fields back into a state of balance and harmony. While doing this, you can hum the mantra Om, because Om is the primeval sound of light, and its resonance will restore harmony most effectively.
And welcome back. Oh, that's such a beautiful meditation. And it's actually one that you can do every day. It works very well first thing in the morning or before you go to bed. You can find this meditation on the We Love Mass Meditation YouTube channel on the link there. So please try to do that as often as you can. It's very powerful to be protected. And so now we are going to move on to the invocation of Command 1221. Exercise number 2, very powerful invocation. And Claire is joining us for that. She's going to present this exercise. Claire, are you with us?
I am. Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you, Claire.
So the command 1221 is an invocation which allows you to get your team's attention immediately, and you can do it anytime. So no matter what happens in your life, if there's a situation where you need your team to help you, it's like an SOS call for them, and they'll be right there. So when they get that order, they immediately start checking your situation, what's going on, and they act. And you can call them as often as you feel guided or whenever you want. And if you do it out loud, it's more powerful because the vibration of your voice enables more possibilities for intervention on the physical level. So I'm now going to say it 3 times. I'm going to leave a gap so you can say it after me. Command 1221. Command 1221. Command 1221. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Claire. Very powerful exercise. And just let's for a moment, let us just feel our teams. These are our non-physical teams of light that are working with us. And let's feel them around us. And let's collectively join our teams together. So here we are around the planet. We've called in our teams. They're surrounding us, ready to assist us. And just feel the power of all these beautiful beings of light surrounding us. Very powerful. So yeah, that's a great command. I know I've used it. I'm sure you have too, Claire, and the rest of the team. We use it when we need it. And and it doesn't have to be an emergency situation. It can be if you have a big decision to make or your mood is challenged or anytime you just feel like you need some light brought to you, you can use this command. Super easy. So, okay. So let us move on now to exercise number 3. And we will do an invocation to connect to the I am presence. This is very important that we do this, especially that we will be moving on to the contract cancellation exercise next. This helps to legitimize it. And again, a beautiful, beautiful exercise that can be done daily. I know I do this one daily, and I just really love it. And so I will say the words very slowly, and you can either say them out loud yourself or silently in your mind, but you're going to visualize as we do this invocation. So let us begin. I call upon the pillar of pure white light to descend upon me and to form around me. I call upon the presence of the I am that I am. I ask the presence of the I am that I am to join and merge with me. And now as we stay in this beautiful pillar of light, we will visualize moving the energy up inside this pillar of light. And so again, please visualize as we say these words together. I call upon the energy to move upward inside the pillar of light in the direction of higher light through my crown chakra at the top of my head. I energize my chakras one by one. I first energize my 8th chakra above my head, the soul star chakra. I move this energy upwards to my 9th chakra, the spirit star chakra. I move this energy upward now to my 10th chakra, the universal chakra. I now visualize this light moving to my 11th chakra, the galactic chakra. Upwards, this energy now moves to my 12th chakra, the divine gateway. And it is at this point in my 12th chakra that I meet, merge, and unite with the I Am Presence. And now I bring the presence and imbue my body with the presence from the top of my head all the way to the bottom of my feet, through my body, bringing the I Am Presence down, and then all the way to the core of Mother Earth. Feel this light, fully connected with the I Am Presence and with Mother Earth. There actually is a longer version of this meditation that, again, is very powerful, that you can also find on the Wheel of Mass Meditation website. So, okay, now we are ready to move on to cancel some contracts. Protected and connected to our I Am Presence, we've called in our teams with Command 1221. And now let us go on to what we call our core exercises. And these are the ones that actually work to dissolve the implants. As I mentioned earlier, you will need pen and paper. And so have those handy. The first one we will do is this contract cancellation. And in that, you will write out as we present it to you and sign it. And then you will read it out loud. So by reading it out loud, it gives it power. And the more you can declaim it, the more powerful it will be. Then we will move on to our 2 triangulation exercises, which we will explain further as we go towards those. 1, to clear the vertical implants, which we will cover a full page with the words, I am God, I am not God. And then we will also do the triangulation exercise for the horizontal implant, in which we will cover the words on a piece of paper, sex is love, sex is not love. And so again, we'll explain those. I know it sounds a little confusing to use these 2 contradictory statements, but we will explain that too as we go. And so the first one, let's go to exercise 4. And for that, Felipe is joining us and to present this exercise. Hello, Felipe.
Yes, thank you, Deborah. So, as Deborah already explained, let's prepare some pencil and paper, and then we can write this. let us all together read it one time, and then we will play some music and then wait for you for 10 minutes so you can write it down and then you can declaim it. Okay. So I am going to read it, and I think it is beautiful, and it's very important to understand and feel the power that this contract cancellation brings in our lives. Now, if we do the contract cancellation properly, we are removing the base, the sustain for the implants. So it's like a house of cards that's gonna fall. But this is the first thing that we need to do: contract cancellation. Every time we sign a contract or we use money, or I don't know, many things that we do in the matrix, we are renewing our contract. So that is the reason why it is very important to do this contract cancellation. Okay, here we go. In the name of I am that I am. In the name of divine soul presence that I am. In the name of all ascended beings of light. In the name of the Galactic Confederation. In the name of the Galactic Center, I decree and I command to cancel and nullify all my past, present, and future contracts and agreements made between any part of my being and the dark forces. All these contracts and agreements and all their consequences are now completely erased from my reality. I am now free. All the karma of my whole being is now erased as well. I am a free sovereign being of light from now until eternity. So be it, and so it is. So be it, and so it is. So be it, and so it is. So let's all write this down together, and at the end we can sign with our names and declaim it if you want. Read it aloud, and we will have 10 minutes. Okay, so here we go. Very well. So I hope you were able to write this contract cancellation, and please pay attention in these following exercises, as well as this one, to all the emotions and the feelings that you have, and please write them down, because it is quite important that you have a tracking of your spiritual progress, and especially when it comes to the dissolving of the implants. You will start notice some clarity, some things that are changing your life. So it is important that you write about them.
That's so true, Felipe. Yeah, pay attention to those emotions that come up as you do these core exercises, because that tells you a lot, and it tells you, what areas you may have some shadow work to do, or it also the emotions. The emotions are so important when we manifest. And if you can put emotions behind this too, it really makes it that much more powerful. So thank you so much, Felipe, for doing that exercise with us. And we do suggest that you keep this piece of paper that you have written this on, and you can carry it around with you or put it next to your bed, and try to look at it once a day and read it out loud, and just continue to nullify these contracts. As Felipe said, this isn't a one-time. We don't do this exercise once and we've canceled all contracts forever, because just by living in the matrix, we revive these contracts, as he's mentioned. Using money, or just going along as we have to do here in the 3D world, going along with the rules and regulations of society. We do fall back into the matrix in order to live our lives. So that's why it's so important that we continuously, on a daily basis, if possible, do this contract cancellation. So, okay. So now we're going to move on to the next exercises. These are the implant clearing triangulation exercises 5 and 6. And I would like to explain for a moment a little bit more about these, because they can be a little bit confusing. In these exercises, you will write 2 contradictory statements. And you do this to decrease the implant's effects in your mind by placing it in the other polarity. So for instance, when we do the exercise to remove the vertical implants, which are the ones above your eyebrows, we are going to write the words, I am God, I am not God. And so again, these are 2 contradictory statements, but these implants, the vertical ones in our head, were created with the primary belief that tells you that I am not God. So we have this primary belief because of these implants that we are not God. So when you write, I am God, and then you put yourself in that state, meaning that you feel those words, you as you write them, you feel it, you put yourself in that state of really believing that you are God. And then you write the complete opposite when you say, I am not God. And you put yourself in that state by feeling what it feels like to think, I am not God. You bring your mind to both alternate states, which then begin to dissolve the implants. And some people, you don't necessarily have to use the word God. Some people, because of religious programming and things like that, they may have they may not feel comfortable saying, I am God. So you can say, I am one with the source. I am not one with the source, or however you would like to. I am connected to source. I am disconnected from source. So whatever word fits you, for that statement will work. And the same concept applies for the horizontal implant, which is the one that is placed above your navel. And that has the basic message that programs you to believe that sex is not love. And so when you write these 2 alternating affirmations, sex is love, sex is not love, you decrease the effect of the implant and it begins to clear. So it's kind of like if you think of like a -1 and a +1. The number one, positive number one and negative number one, let's say on a timeline, and you cancel them out, you get to 0. And that's kind of how this works, is you're canceling them out. And so this is why we do these exercises. And so here's a quote from Cobra that explains a little bit more. And he says, triangulation disidentifies the I am presence from the mental body. It is a good thing for the I am presence to be disidentified or disattached from all mental belief systems. This is true freedom, leading to enlightenment and liberation. Remember, these implants they work with our mental belief systems, which so many of them are false, and they limit our spiritual evolution. And so this is why it's important that we disattach our I am presence from this mental body. And of course, we're all looking for true freedom, enlightenment, and liberation. So that's why we love to do this exercise. So what we're going to do in this one for 10 minutes, you're going to take a piece of paper and you're going to write the words, I am God, I am not God. Or again, however it feels best for you. And we do suggest that you do this in your native language. It will be that much more powerful, writing in your own language. And write these out as many times as you can on a piece of paper. The words, I am God, I am not God. But it's not so important that you fill this paper. It's not, the idea is not how many times you can write it. It's what you're feeling as you're doing it. So we do suggest to do these exercises very consciously. Pay attention to how you're feeling. Pay attention to the emotions that come up as you're doing these exercises, because it is the strength of your intention that is more important than the number of lines you write. So we'll put the music back on for 10 minutes and you will write the words, I am God, I am not God. Again, paying attention to how you feel as you do this very important work. Okay, so let's begin. And welcome back. Very, very powerful exercise. And I would like to thank Clara and our team for reminding us that you can rephrase this to whatever words are most comfortable for you. I am source. I am not the source. And also a very important one, I am goddess. I am not the goddess. So this, I actually have been doing this lately with the I am goddess, I am not the goddess. And it's been very, very powerful for me. This time when I did it, when I was writing I am not goddess, I was having like flashes of memories of this current lifetime, in which times where I really feel like my goddess presence and my goddess energy was very much suppressed or attacked, or it was very interesting. I've never had that experience doing this exercise where a bunch of memories would come up, and it felt very sad, and then I would write I am goddess, and all of a sudden the power would come back, and I was like, yeah, that's who I am. So I'm hoping that you all are having similar and powerful experiences doing this. Please share your comments in the comment section, because we'd love to talk about it at the end of these exercises, what everyone was experiencing. And if you're not experiencing anything right away, don't worry about that. You will likely have things come up during the week, different emotions or different memories, or as this work continues on after this. So don't judge yourself if you're not feeling anything immediate, but we would love to hear from anyone who is having some interesting insights as they do these exercises. And so now let us move on to our final exercise. That is exercise number 6. This is another 10-minute exercise. And remember, this is to help dissolve the implant that is located above our navel that separates our heart from our sexual center. And so it is to really deprogram us from the sex is not love programming that we have. So with this, we will write 2 contradictory statements. Sex is love, sex is not love. And again, if you can write this in your own language, that is best. And again, please do these consciously. See how you feel when you write out these statements. Feel each of those. Sex is love. See what that feels like. See what it feels like when you write sex is not love. So really pay attention to those emotions. And so, yeah, we're just going to write this out. We'll come back in 10 minutes and we'll talk about our experiences. So let us begin with exercise number 6. Sex is love. Sex is not love. And welcome back. Oh, wow. Very powerful exercises. We do suggest that for these last two exercises, number 5 and 6, the triangulation exercises, that you do get rid of them, burn them, tear them up, get the energy of those that those exercises hold out of your life. We mentioned keeping the contract cancellation so that you can read it. But for these last two, I am God, I'm not God, and sex is love, sex is not love, you can just throw away those papers because you've done the work. The work is it's begun. You may not. It's highly unlikely that just by doing these exercises once will remove the implants, but powerful healing can really occur during a session. And done consistently over time, the effects of these clearings will increase, especially as the light forces gain momentum in their clearing processes also. So that's why it is important that you join us as often as you can. And you can go back and listen to these recordings and do some of these on your own, because the more you do it, the more powerful they will be. And you may still have that again, it's about dissolving the implants. So, but you may have very, very powerful reactions during these sessions. I'd love to hear what everyone's saying, and I'd love to share just for a moment the experience I had on this one. I mentioned to you what came up for me when I was doing the I am goddess, I am not goddess. And so when I was doing the second triangulation exercise, sex is love, sex is not love, I had a very similar experience in which when I was writing Sex is Not Love, I was having like this movie in my head almost of times where I've had the experience of sex is not love. And interestingly enough, it was tied into what I had just experienced on the I am not goddess. And so, in fact, it was so powerful, I had to stop writing. And then I was sitting in meditation for a moment, and I was recalling a dream I literally had last night that was reinforcing and bringing this to my awareness. And so you never know what doing these exercises is going to bring up for you. And I just thought I'm going to spend some time going back over these and accessing some of these things that came up for me today. So there will be again, you may not feel something right this moment. Some people, I'd like to share some of these comments that people have said. People have different ways of reacting to Molnar Ellis said, I became very tired with headache. And then Babette also said she felt the same way, feeling tired and feeling lightheaded. And so this is really moving some energy. And so feeling lightheaded or feeling, especially as we're working on dissolving the implants in the head, there could be feelings of lightheadedness or headache. And so, Claire made the comment, any emotions flowing through you are fine and as it should be. And a very important reminder to drink lots of water as you are releasing toxins, and this will help to flush them out. So thank you for that reminder, Claire. As you do these, you may feel tired afterwards. You may feel energized, but it is really important just to drink your filtered water and to keep, maybe even take an Epsom salt bath because you are releasing toxins by doing this. This is energy that we're holding, and it has to flow through. This is so important for the ascension process and for our spiritual evolution, is that we do release what we've been holding. These implants have provided false beliefs and negative programming within us, and it is important at this very pivotal time in the evolution and liberation of this planet that we as light workers and light warriors bring this to the surface, and that we do release all of this, not just from this lifetime, but many, many, many lifetimes. We've been holding ancestrally and through different incarnations, and it's so important that we do release all of this within us. And Lennon made a comment earlier. I'm struggling to understand as well as believe that they're actually there, and I think that you are referring to that the implants are actually there. And again, this isn't something that we learn in school. It's not something that you see in the news or you go to the doctor and he's talking, or he or she is talking about your implants. The dark forces have done a fabulous job in keeping these very secret, and but we just can't figure out why we may not be able to have that true oneness connection with Source, or why we cannot hear the guidance from our higher self, and or why in relationships that we simply, there are conflicts that come up, especially as we become more intimate with someone, in that masculine feminine dynamic, and it is because of these implants, those feelings of loneliness and all of this. So it's not anything that we can see, but we can certainly feel that they are there. So I hope that helped a little bit, Lennon. Does anyone else want to add anything?
Sure. If I might make a little comment, I remember clearly that in one of the conferences from Cobra, he asked us to actually find the effects of the physical in the physical, no? Because we know that these implants are actually not in the physical, but he asked us to find it by placing 3 fingers above the navel and check if there is something there. And so that's quite an interesting thing. So when I did this, I found something that was a little bit hard or so in there. So I suppose that was the physical effect of the implant. The implants, as you know, they are in the etherical plasmatic bodies, but sometimes also the influence, the presence precipitates down to the physical body. And that's the reason why so many people, when they do these exercises, they feel different things. They start to cry, they feel lightheaded, and so on and on and on. So it is a powerful work that we are doing here.
Thank you for sharing that, Felipe. I visualized everyone listening putting 3 fingers above their navel. I know I did. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to go back to a comment that Claire made earlier too. After doing the I am God, I am not God exercise, she said her goddess presence came through very strongly this time. I felt it in my 3rd eye and solar plexus. I needed to stop after I wrote it to feel the presence. Claire, that's really, really powerful. Would you like to share anything further about that?
Hi. Yes, it was the strongest it had ever come through, and I really had to just stop for a second and let that feeling flow. And I really felt it in those 2 particular places, but it was really flowing through my body, and it was it felt really, really good, actually. It felt great. So, and I think that's just from doing this, all of these sessions, doing that over and again. And I think, I felt like something cleared.
Wow. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Claire.
Thank you.
And and this is actually quite important to understand that we have this power to actually remove the things that have been placed onto us, and it is not that difficult to believe that they are there, because this is the way that we actually behave. For example, do we remember how many incarnations do we remember? There you go. That's part of the implant. That's the work of the implant is actually to give you amnesia, to let you forget. So that's one good point that we can use to just start in the process of dissolving this implant. And as soon as we start dissolving these implants, as soon as we know about these implants, we are starting to dissolve them, and then things are going to change in our life. So we actually invite people so they can do this as frequently as possible and with dedication, and it will work. Let me tell you, it will work.
Yes, it will work. You just keep doing them, and it'll work. Thank you for sharing that. I'd like to share a little bit more of some of the comments that people are making about their experience. And Nate's asking, can we do this exercise with our Sintamani stone on deck? I would say absolutely. More power to you, right? So I would definitely say yes. Stay in your path says, last session I had a strong headache the next day too. And let's see, Scathy baby, my feeling. Okay. On the not God, you felt separation, lonely and lost. And on the am God, oceanic and blissful. I can just, that word, yes, just visualizing a beautiful ocean flowing with bliss. Magdolna said, last session, I had a terrible stomach ache the next morning. I do not have stomach ache since I eat fruit mostly. So that's interesting. I wonder if that was having to do with the navel implant. Something. Shadazar said it's partially this is in reference to, I think, our discussion when Lennon was asking about, are they really there? It's partially the implants and also the constant conditioning and programming of the material world. And thank you for bringing that up. Yes, because that reinforces these implants. It's this conditioning, this programming of our society and of this 3D material world. So thank you for bringing that up. Scatha Baby also said, on the sexes, not love one, you felt strangely stale. Good description. Strangely stale and somewhat dizzy. On the sexes love, you felt very fluent, alive, and flowering. Beautiful descriptive words.
Mhm.
So thank you for sharing that. That very good. And Magdolna, Felipe, that is true. There is some sort of hard stuff there. Oh, and that's in reference to what Felipe was talking about. So thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that.
Place a finger, 3 fingers above the navel, and see if you can find something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're saying, they felt some sort of hard stuff there. That's interesting. Jean says, I'm realizing the beauty of yin and yang. We cannot live without each other, and that's what makes us whole. Absolutely. And the more that we do this work, the healthier we become in our divine feminine and our divine masculine, and the balance of that coming together in perfect harmony is really will be so healing for this planet. And Scatha Baby says, in the contract exercise, I felt like sitting in nails. Oh, interesting. Under pressure while writing, and some dark entities outside the safe place in here, but it's all fine and safe here.
Yeah, we have to remember also to keep spiritual hygiene. No? That's important. The same way we wash our hands or bodies every now and then stuff comes and stick to us. This is primary anomaly has been described some sort of a mist of something dark that is around us, and the people, if they get contaminated with this, then they need to clean it up, and then we need to clean up, and we are cleaning it up as soon as we cancel contracts and do these kind of exercises, and we bathe ourselves in light or something. One thing that I do is, for example, when I get in the shower, I also visualize that I am entering actually in a column of light, so washing both things at the same time.
I love that idea, Philippa. I actually, when I brush my teeth, I have an electric toothbrush that makes this like whirling sound.
Mhm.
And when I do that in the morning, I visualize from the protection protocol exercise that we did earlier, I visualize a vortex of light coming down from my soul star chakra and purifying all of my body's physical and non-physical. And the sound of my toothbrush whirling in my mouth is kind of anchors that. So, everyone's life is busy, and not everyone may have half an hour or an hour to spend every morning with, as you called it, I love that word. What did you call it? Protection hygiene?
Spiritual hygiene.
Spiritual hygiene. I love that. It's make that a part of your daily routine, especially now. The dark they're going down and they're not happy about it. And so we need to keep ourselves protected, and just to do these different protections for yourself, whether it's the pillar of light or the violet flame or the vortex of, there are so many. And so it's really important. Amar says, I wash everything that I am every day when I take my shower. And I assume that you're meaning like your all of your non-physical and physical bodies. So it sounds like something like Felipe is doing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Stan Your Path said, I visualize a violet flame when I brush my teeth. There you go. Yes, you can do, driving down the road, or, just don't close your eyes. But, waiting for something, or that the violet flame is a very quick and easy way. You just call it in from its original source and surround yourself, your physical and non-physical bodies, with that. And it can be very quick. Maybe you're walking into a meeting in which that you might be dealing with some difficult people. Toss that violet flame around yourself. It can be very powerful. Starseeds Alliance Core said, my doctor discovered a little hernia of 4 centimeters from the navel. Very interesting. Very interesting.
The implants have been described as black holes, so we do not really know what's going on in there, and how does the body, the poor body, physical body, how much energy does it have to use to try to cover it, to try to limit the effects of this situation. So it will be very interesting for somebody to actually to explain that to us. That would be wonderful. But anyways, our task is actually not to learn the mechanics about this, but to work, be aware of this situation, and then get rid of it. Yeah?
I agree. I feel like, Felipe, that as we get closer to the event, and especially afterwards, we will be given so much information. All of these questions that we have will start to become answered. But right now, it's just our job to hold the light and heal ourselves, and we'll get answers to all of these. I know we're all burning with so many questions in our head about so many things. But again, it's about being patient and holding the light and doing the work that we're doing. And just a reminder that we do have a session coming up on July 28th in 2 weeks. And so again, it's important that you attend as many of these as possible or do these sessions on your own. So you can find information about these sessions on our We Love Mass Meditation website from our friends there. They keep that timetable updated of different sessions in different languages and the dates and times for that. So please check that. And also please check our Telegram channel. We have a Victory of the Light Telegram channel, which is Victory of the Light with underscores. And we also have an interesting chat there where you can chat with like-minded beings of light. And that is Victory of the Light chat. And so make sure that you join us there. There's also our various YouTube channels, different websites, Twitter, Telegram, Facebook, where you can find the work that we're doing. And please like and share. Remember, the more people that do these sessions, the more powerful they are. So please share, please spread the light. And I want to bring to our attention a very important mass global meditation coming up on July 19th. That's just in about 5 days. That will take place at 11:11 GMT, which is UTC time, and that is 7:11 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. For those in the United States, it's at 1:11 p.m. European Central European time. I think I said that right.
Central European summertime. Yes.
Yes, Central European summertime. And have also added the time for Japan at 8:11 p.m. And so, but you can use a time converter for your time. But this meditation will help strengthen the network of light on the surface of the planet. And there is a website that you can go to, firethegrid2.org, or all of the information is on the WeLoveMassMeditation.com website. They just put a fresh new post there about this Fire the Grid meditation. And basically what it is, and I think it's going for an hour. So whatever time that is for you at 11 a.m. UTC time, 11:11, we are going to collectively go in a place where are focusing on joy, love, compassion, peace, whatever it is that brings you joy. That could be thoughts sitting, recalling some beautiful memories. That can be visualizing your wonderful future and the future of the planet. It can be doing something that you love to do, such as dancing or singing. Whatever it is that raises your vibration and brings you into a place of joy, we are going to collectively be doing this around the planet. And this is really to flood the light grid around the planet with our light. This has been done before in the past. This is why this is called Fire the Grid 2. And it was very successful in the past. And we're going to do it again at this very important time on the planet for what's coming ahead, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Actually, we can talk about it right now if we want to. Felipe, I know we talked how we wanted to have a little bit of a discussion about the recent Cobra post that he put out that has some very it had some very important information in it about a lot of clearings that have taken place. So, Felipe, would you like to mention a few of those?
Sure. We have been aware of some things that the life forces were doing. For example, just working on the Congo complex, for example, and all this work about liberating the people that were as hostages. It has been progressing quite fantastically, very well, and so that's why Cobra says clearing of the Chimera group continues. And the life forces have managed to completely clear all underground bases of the Chimera breakaway civilization, including the Congo complex. Right there, you have a fantastic situation.
That is so powerful. Wow. How long have we waited for that, right?
Yes. And then also he speaks about Donald Rumsfeld, and we have been meditating that he's going to be taken to the central sun. And he confirms this, that he has been taken for reprocessing. He is no more. Yeah?
And that just shows the power of these global mass meditations. I know we sometimes wonder, are we making any difference when we meditate at certain times? But look, the hostages are almost all liberated. And we've had that hostage meditation to help free the hostages. And then we also had the meditation to send Donald Rumsfeld into the galactic central sun, and we got confirmation that happened. So that just shows you how very, very important it is for us to collectively do these meditations together.
Yeah, and then we have, I guess that when we do these meditations, we anchor the light on this planet so they can act, because we act like columns, but like conduits for this light. And now they have included additional people to be on the list of people that needs to be removed from power and then taken to the central sun. So it is now 5 people, and they are quite people who have been working against humanity for a long time. So it's about time that they for them to be removed. And he also explains about the Spider King and Queen, and all this. I suppose is some sort of a hierarchy of Archons and Chimera and who knows, reptilians and all these races that are working against humanity that have been severely contained. So it is the progress of the life forces in that respect is going quite nicely. So, and then there's also some information about that there's some stuff that needs to be clear, but also the positive militaries in the world are starting to be contacted more frequently by the resistance movement, also from the extraterrestrials. So there's a moment in which he mentions underground tunnels, and I wonder if this has something to do with the earthquakes that have been going around the planet quite frequently, and perhaps there has been some wars, some situations in there that required a more effective, more physical act of the light forces. So this has been taken care of.
I
One of the
would think
things,
so, Felipe. I think there's a definite correlation,
Yeah.
because even as we saw, I think it was in the Congo, wasn't it, a couple weeks back, where they had quite a few earthquakes.
Exactly.
And now in this update, we're hearing that that underground area has been cleared. So I think you're very correct in saying it has something to do with the earthquakes. And I know here in the United States, they've been talking about all the flooding in New York and how these underground tunnels are being flooded. And I don't think that's a coincidence either. So we're seeing physical signs on the planet, which is really, really amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He
Sorry,
also-
can I just intervene
Sure.
there a little bit? Yeah, I have a friend who lives, out in the bush in Uganda, which I guess is not too far away from the Congo, and she was commenting, not knowing anything about this, about the earthquakes they were feeling there. So it's just interesting to hear from different sources. People are all feeling, these effects, and people who are questioning it who maybe wouldn't have before. So again, we had this conversation, and I was mentioning the Congo and all this information Cobra brought up, and it kind of, she was like, oh, okay, yeah, it all made sense to her. So it's definitely interesting times.
And that's an understatement.
Yeah.
And Cobra did give us some time frames too, which is fairly unusual for him. And I think Felipe, you're about to talk about that too.
Yes. Exactly. And then another important situation is that the human trafficking is also being dismantled. No? All this activity with child abuse and so on. It's important that it's interesting that Cobra mentions child abuse, not pedophilia, which is something else. So he says child abuse, and I think that's the proper term for this. And then also he writes the top priority of the resistance and the positive military now is to rescue as many children as possible still captured there. So that's very, very fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah. And now there are still some souls, twin souls that are mostly captured Pleiadians that are still captured. And so that is part of the progress that needs to be done as well. And then he mentions the Negev Desert in Israel and near Abu Kamal in Syria and near Grozny in Chechnya. So it's the places that we did not consider in our meditations before. So I think we have to include them as well.
That's a good point. Yes, very good. Yes, thank you.
And he's also mentioning, and there's also an interesting graph below it. He says the resistance and the Pleiadian fleet have contacted the positive military in the USA, Russia, and China several times in the last few months. And look at this. And certain plans have been set into motion to prepare for the event. Okay, who wants to comment about this?
Other than saying yay with a big exclamation point. Yeah. Just so, but yeah, he was talking about two locations, one Cheyenne Mountain, and then the other was Thule in Greenland, in preparation for the event. So you really have to wonder what's going to be taking place there, right?
Exactly, what's going on, yeah. And it is welcome news in this moment in which, for example, there are countries in which the governments are extremely tyrannical right now. For example, in France, so there's a lot of turmoil in those places because the measures against people taking in consideration the coronavirus is just so extreme that it's just ridiculous the way it is being sold to the masses right now. Yeah.
Well, it's off the chart. I mean, here in the United States, we're talking about going door to door.
Yes.
And it's just all over the planet. It's just really escalating. So you can, which is a sign that the dark is feeling very cornered and very desperate because all plans are being accelerated so quickly. normally it takes the government forever to do anything. And so all of a sudden now with the coronavirus and the vaccine plans, like things start the day they mention it, and so they're really, really moving quickly with a lot of nefarious agendas. And so things are really, really accelerating on the planet, which is prompting the light forces to take some more drastic measures. Cobra had mentioned that at the beginning of August, which is, coming up in a few weeks, certain situations will escalate as we are entering a special intersection event time window starting in August of this year and ending at the end of 2022. The first part of that window beginning August through December of this year, 2021, and the second part being January through December next year, 2022. And so I'd love to hear what you guys think about that as well, in terms of the situations escalating in that window of time that he mentions.
I think we need to be always prepared, because the event can happen soon, very soon, or take a few months. But I think the preparations have to be continuous. We have to be aware that something suddenly very beautiful could happen in the planet, and meditate and visualize and feel it. That's actually really happening, because this is the way it's going to happen. Because if we all unite our collective minds and make this happening. Now, part of I don't know, Claire perhaps wants to comment a little bit about this as well, or somebody else. And
well, I think getting any type of dates at this point is huge, because he's been so wary of giving any dates whatsoever. So I think to get even at a time frame is huge.
Fantastic,
that's huge progress.
Yeah.
Yes, we it's so rare that we've seen that with some actual dates and stuff, and with he was saying certain situations will escalate, and again that could be a little more chaos on the planet, but it's escalating because it is shifting and things are happening. And so it could be easy to move into a place of panic or fear when we see certain things. But this is where we really have to go into a place of knowingness and trust and holding the light, as you mentioned earlier, Felipe, just, staying in our meditations and holding the light. Of course, being prepared that things could, whether it's the event itself or, there could be internet shutdowns or potential cyber attacks, or where we could lose power, or just things like that. So it is good to be prepared, food, water, candles, backup solar lights and things like that. Just just to be prepared for what's ahead.
Exactly.
I was sorry. I was just about to say, I feel really, really lucky that I know and have this information, because I can't imagine not knowing it, and how strange it must feel for everyone who doesn't know. So I think we might be getting more people kind of asking us questions, in the near future. And I think we need to be open to those who have been close to all this information, but if they start to show curiosity, I think we have to be really open and patient with them, because just try and put yourself in their shoes where they have no idea what's going on. I think we will be passing on a lot more information, I think, in the near future, to help awaken other people. I think we do have to be gentle.
That, Claire. Yeah, that's so important, because there's a reason that we all have awoken early, because it is that we will be needed to as you said, help to answer questions and to guide people and to hold the light and to calm everyone, because as you said, can you imagine people that really have no clue, and then all of a sudden a lot of this information starts to come out, and it can be a lot. I know for me it was a lot when I started to really fully comprehend the truth of everything. But all of us, I think it was a slower process, but some of these people, it's going to be like boom, 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 information, wow, shock. And that's where we come in, and that's where we hold the light. And I imagine that, and I'm just guessing, but this team, and there will be other teams. I know with Sisterhood of the Rose, we're planning different things, and we will be here, and we will be doing things like this to talk about it and to help people and to be there for everybody. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Cobra also mentioned that the light forces are also intensively clearing negative non-physical etheric and astral entities. And we can do that as well because we have the power to, for example, just create a beautiful violet dome of light around us, and everything that goes to the galactic central sun. That's it. Yeah. So we are part of these light forces already. So because we have the information and we just need the practice, because we have a little bit of the training already. And the more we do it, the more our power grows. And it's the same with love. No, the more we love, we do not run out of love. No, the more we love, we get more love in our hearts, and this heart starts expanding and getting more beautiful and feeling more love. Exactly the same when we do this kind of light works, then we increase our power as we use it, and that's a fantastic thing to remember.
Yes.
Okay. And
so beautiful. Love, it's all about love, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So and again, a reminder on that Fire the Grid meditation. We will be collectively around the planet for an hour on July 19th. Just be flooding the planet with love and light and joy, and it will really, I think, infiltrate the grid, strengthen the light grid, and raise the vibration of the planet for what's lying ahead. It will really put us into that a lovely positive timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they have reached unity. Some councils in the Galactic Confederation, and certain actions were taken last week by Semyase and some other high commanders. And it appears that there's going to be a drastic intervention and in the right moment on the surface of the planet. So there are no details about this plan, but we have to consider that the battle. And I have today I was talking with a friend, and then I mentioned something about a paint that was made in Germany many years ago. I think it was the 1500s or so, in which this paint describes a battle on the air. Yeah. So apparently these things are not brand new. They have been going for a few years already, and then there's going to be something like this, no? And then that's the reason why we have to continue meditating and sending this beautiful pink light of the goddess, so all these tensions can be dissolved and be actually taken care of the most positive and beautiful way. Yeah.
Yes. Bring in the love and light of the goddess, that beautiful pink, healing, loving, compassionate energy. Nate did ask, where do we? Well, he shared with us, I had a dream a couple years ago. I connected with my twin flame and held hands and then took off flying. So that's so beautiful. And then he said, by the way, where do we go to join Sisterhood of the Rose? Thank you for your interest, Nate. You can go to sisterhoodoftheRose.network, that website, and look to see if there is a group in your area, a physical Sisterhood of the Rose group that meets. And also check the Sisterhood of the Rose social media, Twitter, Telegram, Facebook. We do post information there. We are in the process of creating an online global Sisterhood of the Rose meditation sessions as well. So, but you can join just check out the Sisterhood of the Rose website as well. So thank you for asking. Wow, what a lovely session. Felipe, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
Yes, there's a couple of things that because this post has been actually quite large, and then he mentions also the intersection event as you mentioned, and that there's also confirmation from other people that are saying, okay, the dam will break, you know? And then on the surface of the planet, there's a battle between the light and dark forces over the coronavirus narrative. And then he says the dark forces are pushing the perpetual case-demic. Now, I had to look it up. What does case-demic means? Yeah? And then I found out that this is because of the false readings of the corona tests. Then they are creating this pandemic based on this false reading of the corona test. And I have noticed that the corona tests actually have different levels until they can manipulate it in a way that they show that you have corona. Huh? So, and it's been used to make these lockdown agendas on all that stuff. So yeah, it is important to, I don't know, when I see these sessions, or I mean when I see this news, you know, sometimes I feel I don't know what was going on, because I can easily see that this is just fake, but other people indeed believe them and plan their lives around this. So yeah, it's just like two Earths are being divided right now. Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. Yes, that is so. But one thing that this case-demic has done is it has awakened a lot of people too, because some people are using critical thinking skills, and they are saying something about this doesn't feel right. And so that's one good thing about it. But then there are those people that, you know, whatever the news tells them, they completely believe. So you're right. There is a chasm being created, it seems, between the earth with the way people are believing.
Mm-hmm. And I think from the very beginning, Cobra has not denied that there's virus going around, but it's not it's not a really serious problem. He writes, Delta variant of the coronavirus spreads very fast, but it's very mild, leading to very few hospitalizations and even fewer deaths. So we have to remember that, no? So just be conscious, be aware, and then do not pay too much attention to this, because the more energy we give to this stuff, the worse it is. The worse it becomes, because it's growing because of our own physical and emotional energy. So, yeah, sometimes it's better to switch it off.
Yeah, very very good point. You know, because that is the upcoming narrative, as we're all seeing, is this new Delta variant. And it is to create more panic and to blame it on those that have been unvaccinated, and to really blow it out of proportion. And so, as you said, Felipe, let's not give it too much juice. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, much
sort of stay disattached from it and know that it is propaganda, and that it really isn't. It doesn't really sound like it's anything other than maybe a mild flu or something.
I also read, okay, therefore the life forces are beginning to effectively promote end of the lockdowns and more effective treatment of the hospitalized. And so that's actually quite interesting, because I heard something like this in the news in Germany, and he writes about the Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz, who predicted end of lockdowns for Austria, and shifting the focus from government enforcement of coronavirus mandates to personal responsibility and freedom, with more focus on hospitalized and less on confirmed cases. Sure enough, mainstream media outside of Austria and neighboring countries did not report this. Yeah, so we didn't hear that Sebastian Kurz did this, and we are also German speaking, so that was right. But also in Germany is this awareness in the moment that, okay, there can be a lot of infected people, but they are not being hospitalized, so that's okay. Yeah. Well, while in the week before this, so 1 week ago, then they say, okay, there's 1,000 new infected, so okay, so we have to spread the lockdown immediately. So they can change in. Hopefully, the life forces are going to have more and more effectiveness on this. And we are actually part of the life forces because we have to talk with our friends and make some sense, bring some sense on this kind of thing. No? All right.
Good point. Excellent point. Yeah, you're right. We are part of that.
Right. So at the end, there's a nice picture that says "Fire the grid, flood the junctures." Yeah. So we have to be we have to make this action. So we are going to meditate all together on the July 19th at 11:11 Universal Coordinated Time.
Yes, we really, really look forward to that. And if you are not familiar with Cobra, we are talking about the updates that he does on his website, which is 2012portal.blogspot.com. And so Cobra is a Pleiadian contactee who is a representative of the resistance movement, and he releases intel to the surface. Some of his messages are coded messages that the surface population may not understand, but in his updates, he really does talk to us here on the surface to give us updates, and we, those of us on this team, we do feel like as far as intel goes, that he delivers some of the most accurate intel on the planet. And so this is why we are referencing his work. So we have Scath Baby said, I will join the Flood the Gate Festival. Awesome event of the light. Flood the Grid Festival. I love that. Let's make a festival and let's celebrate the light on that day. I know for me, it'll be super early in the morning. We'll definitely have to set an alarm, but I will be there, and I hope that everyone else will join us too. Whatever time it is for you around the planet, we do hope that you join in this festival of light, as Scatha Baby has called it. So thank you for that. Felipe, was there anything else?
No, just in case if your time, so if you live in a country that is going to be very early or so, just do it, because I totally believe in this in mass meditations, because when you give of your energy, you are rewarded immensely. I have I remember a beautiful experience, having beautiful experiences, joining together with people, 20, 30 people or so in meditation and so on. But also these worldwide meditations are fantastic because you are joining together with lots of people. And I do remember clearly that I had these fantastic experiences of seeing angels and stuff like this when we had this 144,000 people meditating. So feel the energy, feel the power, feel the love, and then have a fantastic session, activity, and day on that.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. And we do invite you to consistently check out the WeLoveMassMeditation.com website, because there are many global mass meditations that actually are taking place daily. We are still guided to continue the meditation to liberate the hostages, because that is not completely taken care of. And there's other meditations, such as doing the Flower of Life meditation daily. And so please check that website, as well as the various social media pages. We Love Mass Meditation has social media, and just to see what's going on. As urgent situations come up, they will be posting different meditations that we can join in to help heal, because as we're getting evidence, these mass meditations do work. So keep up the great work, everybody. We want to thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you to those of you who have stayed on for our update and in our chat. I really want to thank our team. Felipe, thank you for sharing with us the Cobra update. Really appreciate that. And we want to thank everybody so much for being a part of what we did today. We hope that you benefited from it, and we know for sure that we have added some beautiful light to the planet by doing this session today. And we ask you to continue moving forward, being the light, spreading the light, so that we can be in a place where we soon say victory of the light. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Hold on a second, please.
Oh, sure.
There's 2 questions from the audience. I don't know if the people are still there listening. The first, I don't know if you want to address these questions now, but one of the questions you can decide. One of the questions was, can we do this exercise with our Chintamani stone on our neck? I think it is. They think there's a spelling error. So that's a pretty simple question, I think.
Yeah, I think we did answer that, and I think we said, I just mentioned, I think anytime you can meditate with your Chintamani stone is really, really important. Would anyone else like to share anything?
Yeah, the thing is that the Chintamani stone is not supposed to be worn. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. To be worn in contact of your body permanently. Okay. That's what I have been told. So you can put it in your hand to meditate, but then you can leave it on your desk, for example. So that's a recommendation, perhaps, that you can consider. Yeah.
Okay.
Although there's some people, I think, there's making jewelry, but I do not know how is it going with them.
Oh, I've actually worn mine for years and years around my neck. But there are times where, Cobra tells us that if you are experiencing some negative emotions, let's say you're upset about something, angry, sad, it's important that you not be wearing or holding your stone, that you don't have it on your body as you're experiencing these emotions, because that energy can then go out into the energy field of the planet. And so it's really important that you're mindful how you use your stone. And so, maybe when doing these exercises, if you're doing the exercise where you're feeling a lot of emotion, let's say if you're saying, I am not God, or I am not source, maybe it's better if you don't use your stone during that. It might be better off just after the session, when you're carrying some of the beautiful light from all the wonderful people around the planet that have been doing this session. Maybe you sit with your stone and you simply focus on, I am God, or I am Goddess, or I am one with the source. And that's when you use your stone. So it's real important that you use your intuition on that and kind of feel when and how is the best way to use it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. And the second question, if you could just read it, it's on the thread here on the right. I don't know whether it's an appropriate question to deal with right now.
Yeah, we'll read it anyways. I will try to comment it, although I couldn't find it on the comments, but otherwise I will have put it on the screen. Insectoid archons are directly connected to implantation process. Is that the question, right?
That's the question, yeah.
Okay, good. We have to remember that all these entities work together. I think he mentioned something that the lords of karma are insectoids. I do not know exactly who places the implants there, but I suppose that yes, they have something to do with it, because all this is just all the gang works together to make people actually miserable and put the implants before we are born. So yeah, that's it. I do not have any that information. Maybe
Felipe, did you say all the gunk?
All the gang is part of the same gang. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. No,
What
then
a,
and
what
at the
a
same time,
simple
I
but
have to.
direct way of referencing
Yeah,
all of
but at the
that.
same time, I have to remind the audience, that we are not, how to say, racist in a way, no? Just because you are an insect, or you are bad, or just because you are a reptilian, you are bad, no? So we have to be extremely careful about this as well.
Oh,
There are some people who always changes to bands, no? Changes gangs, so to speak, no? Some
yes.
turn to the light and start helping the light, and they are very welcome. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And that is good because I know the light forces are giving some of those dark beings opportunities to turn to the light, and that, and then they can be very powerful, in moving toward liberation of the planet in the new earth. So we invite any dark and nefarious being to turn to the light, and you're going to be a lot happier that way.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be xenophobic, no? To a certain group of entities. Yeah.
Right, right. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for all of your wonderful questions, and to the team for offering some input. I mean, we don't claim to be experts on anything by any means, but we simply are here to share information, spread the light, and do what we can toward moving our planet to the very quickest and most peaceful planetary liberation. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, team. You guys are amazing. And the audience, thank you so much. You guys are all really amazing. And we will see you next time. So thank you so much, and victory of the light.